Have you ever felt like your journey was too big for you to handle? Like you were caught in the middle of something far greater than yourself? That's exactly where we find our heroes in The Two Towers, the second volume of J.R.R. Tolkien's epic trilogy, The Lord of the Rings. The fellowship that once stood strong is now broken, scattered across Middle-earth, each facing battles they never imagined. The odds are overwhelming, the darkness is growing, and time is running out. And yet, from the heart of this chaos rises one of the most powerful tales of loyalty, courage, and hope ever told. When The Two Towers opens, we are thrown into turmoil. The once unified Fellowship of the Ring is no more. Frodo Baggins and his faithful companion, Samwise Gamgee, have gone off on their own, determined to carry the One Ring into the land of Mordor and destroy it in the fires of Mount Doom. Meanwhile, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are desperately chasing after a band of orcs who have captured their friends Merry and Pippin. The land is in flux, alliances are shifting, and a dark power is rising that threatens to engulf everything in its path. The story is split into two main threads, each telling a side of this fractured journey. One follows Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli as they pursue the orcs across the plains of Rohan. What starts as a rescue mission quickly turns into something much larger. Along the way, they encounter the Riders of Rohan, led by the noble Éomer, who reveals that Rohan is under siege from within. The once great King Theoden has fallen under the influence of the dark wizard Saruman, whose voice has twisted the king's will and left the land vulnerable to attack. Saruman, once a trusted ally and member of the White Council, has now allied himself with Sauron and become a formidable enemy in his own right. His fortress at Isengard is a rising threat, and his monstrous army of Uruk-hai grows stronger by the day. But the tide begins to turn when Gandalf the Grey returns, no longer cloaked in the grey robes of a wanderer, but reborn as Gandalf the White. Thought dead after his epic battle with the Balrog in the mines of Moria, Gandalf has returned, more powerful than ever. With his help, the trio are able to reach King Theoden, break Saruman's grip on his mind, and prepare the kingdom of Rohan to stand against the coming darkness. Meanwhile, Merry and Pippin, initially seen as comic relief or innocent hobbits, in over their heads, find themselves in a forest unlike any other. Fangorn is ancient and alive in a way few places are. It is here they meet Treebeard, a towering ent, a tree shepherd and one of the oldest beings in Middle-earth. At first, Treebeard and the Ents are cautious, slow to action, reluctant to involve themselves in the affairs of men and hobbits. But as Merry and Pippin share the tale of Saruman's treachery and the damage he has done to the natural world, a fire is lit in the hearts of the Ents. In one of the most powerful and unexpected moments of the story, the Ents decide to go to war. What follows is the assault on Isengard, a towering, water-flooded assault that sees nature itself rise up against the industrialized destructions wrought by Saruman. Back in Rohan, the tide of war continues to rise. Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and Gandalf rally with the Rohirrim to defend Helm's Deep, a mighty fortress tucked deep within the mountains. What begins as a desperate stand soon becomes one of the most iconic battles in fantasy literature. The odds are dire. Saruman's army of Uruk-hai vastly outnumber the defenders. Yet in the face of annihilation, the people of Rohan fight with unmatched courage. Aragorn stands as both warrior and leader. Legolas rains arrows from the battlements. Gimli fights with raw power and grim determination. And at the darkest hour, when all hope seems lost, Gandalf returns with reinforcements, breaking the siege and scattering the enemy. This is a recurring theme throughout The Two Towers. The idea that even in the face of crushing darkness, there is hope. That even the smallest force can push back against evil if their will is strong enough. It's not just a fantasy tale of war and magic. It's a story about the human spirit, about standing firm when the world is crumbling around you. While battles rage in Rohan and the Ents bring down Isengard, another story unfolds, perhaps the most important of all. Frodo and Sam, now on their own, begin their long and dangerous trek toward Mordor. The road is brutal. The weight of the ring grows heavier with every step. Frodo is no longer the innocent hobbit who left the Shire. The ring is slowly corrupting him, gnawing at his soul, whispering to him in moments of weakness. Sam, ever loyal, serves as both protector and moral compass, refusing to let Frodo fall too far. And then there's Gollum. Gollum is one of the most fascinating and tragic characters in Tolkien's entire legendarium. Once a hobbit-like creature, named Smeagol, Gollum was twisted and broken by the ring's power, consumed by a centuries-long obsession. When he begins to follow Frodo and Sam, he is caught and eventually made to swear loyalty to Frodo. What follows is a fragile, dangerous alliance. Frodo sees in Gollum what he himself might become. He pities him, seeks to guide him, even calls him Smeagol. Sam, however, never trusts Gollum, and with good reason. There is a duality within Gollum. One moment he's pitiful and childlike. The next, he is cunning and murderous. He is a mirror of what the ring can do, a warning that the closer Frodo gets to Mordor, the closer he comes to becoming Gollum himself. Their journey brings them through deadly lands, dark swamps, and haunted ruins. The land itself seems to reject them. They meet Faramir, a captain of Gondor, and the brother of Boromir, who offers a stark contrast to his fallen sibling. Where Boromir was tempted by the ring, Faramir resists. He proves that men too can rise above their weaknesses. He gives Frodo and Sam aid and lets them continue their journey, further emphasizing the recurring message of choosing what is right over what is easy. The most haunting part of Frodo's journey is the realization that there is no going back. The Shire, with its peaceful hills and warm hearths, is a memory. The weight of the ring and the horrors of the journey have changed Frodo forever. Sam sees it too. The boyish innocence they once shared has been burned away by fire, betrayal, and the crushing responsibility they carry. As the book nears its end, Gollum leads them to a secret path into Mordor, a treacherous mountain pass called Cirith Ungol. But it is a trap. Gollum, driven by his hatred and lust for the ring, plans to betray them to a monstrous creature that dwells in the mountain's depths, Shelob, a monstrous spider, ancient beyond reckoning. The betrayal is heart-wrenching. Frodo, trusting Gollum, walks into danger. The battle with Shelob is horrifying. Frodo is stung and left for dead. Sam, in an act of pure courage and love, fights the beast alone. Thinking Frodo is dead, Sam takes the ring, ready to finish the mission himself. But Frodo is not dead. He is captured by orcs and taken deeper into the enemy's lands. Sam, heartbroken yet determined, now must decide what to do. The story ends on a cliffhanger, with the world on the brink of war and the smallest of heroes walking straight into the jaws of darkness. The Two Towers is more than a middle chapter in a trilogy. It's a powerful saga of war, loyalty, transformation, and resistance. It shows us how people, when torn apart, can still grow stronger. It reminds us that even the smallest voice can rally a forest, that a broken king can rise again, and that courage doesn't always roar. It sometimes whispers, "I will go on." Tolkien uses his rich, immersive world to tell a story that echoes far beyond its pages. The landscapes are alive with magic and history. The characters are complex, layered with doubt, strength, fear, and hope. From the rolling fields of Rohan to the blackened wastes outside Mordor, every step of the journey is steeped in meaning. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of the Two Towers, that every journey matters. That no matter how dark the road, no matter how scattered the fellowship, there is still a chance to make a difference. Every character, no matter how small their role may seem, plays a part in the shaping of the world. Whether you're listening to this story for the first time or returning to it as an old friend, The Two Towers grabs you and pulls you into a world of high stakes and deep emotion. It's a story that lingers, one that leaves you asking, what would I do in their place? Would I have the strength to carry the ring? Would I ride into battle when the odds were hopeless? Would I trust, forgive, and hope when all seemed lost? There's only one way to find out. Continue the journey. Step into Middle-earth. Let the towers rise. Let the war begin. Because the story is far from over. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link in description.